Trade the NBA.com. This is John's report. It's for the 16th of January, and while the pivot took place, Trump pivoted from Iran and that to as well as Venezuela from before. Backed off the attack on Greenland as NATO troops arrive in Greenland to protect it from something. And Trump has pivoted now to energy prices. So the thing that I've been talking about for quite a while, he realized finally is going to be the killer to his affordability crisis for people in inflation, because electricity prices really huge, nut to drive through. And so he's made the big move for the Mid-Atlantic area, trying to cap uh, data centers, making them pay their way. So we'll see, But from a chart standpoint, we're still in this upside malaise, if you want to call it. It's just a sideways action for the last month plus. Um, Nothing's changed. We still don't have enough short activity to do anything significant. You're going to get intraday back and forth from what we see on the DOC, but you still have a falling orange, rising steel. That's a debt plus right there. You don't quite have the crossover of midterm and long-term buyers from a DOC standpoint, but likewise, it's the same thing from the MBI reading. As soon as that magenta crosses, we didn't get any dip below, so we're just in that blue area here in the extreme where it's just generally positive with a little bit of back and forth. It's not really a directional setup, and that's just because of the confusion. I mean, every day it's something new. There's no real balance. The Fed's not really participating in any of this. From an NQ standpoint, earnings have still been good for some. Is that going to continue across all of them? And what other shakeups are going to be? Will this move on energy impact the AI trade? You know, Potentially, you can't just automatically produce extra gigawatts of power overnight. So that they're starting early on this topic, fine, but will anything come of it? Pretty tough to say, because you try to do the same thing with cutting interest rates on credit card. Again, another thing that would be for affordability. The banks, of course, object, because to them it's just free, easy money when they're charging 20 and 30% interest and only paying a couple. So they can't beat that from that standpoint. Sure, they claim all these expenses, blah 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 blah, but really, that's a bit phony. From an oil standpoint, you can see that ease in tensions drop things off just a little bit, but it's still too way high. You're not going to get any improvement, but of course you're right at that balance point where, below 60, you're not going to get new wells opened up, still profitable, but and then from the Eurozone, deploying the troops to Greenland really isn't a super bonus as it was, buying new weaponry to compete against Russia. But, now France was whining the other day about not having one of their, hypersonic missiles like the Russian, was it Oceanic or whatever missile that's, Mach 10. Yeah, good luck with that. You can cry all you want. It doesn't mean you're going to be able to come up with the technology or the money to be able to do those things. And why France needs to, who knows? It's part of their continuing malaise. It's all going to be good for gold. Nothing in the impetus rate yet, but everyone's just going to be watching for inflationary numbers. Doesn't look like you're going to see that. And it's exactly the argument that I pointed out about tariffs. You're also seeing a decline in rents and things like that, because as you work on the illegal immigration issue, you're cutting out that demand. That lowers the overall cost buildup. These are all things that have a material impact on everyone's lives, but not necessarily corporate earnings. So those are different issues. From an intraday, you can see we had the nice buildup, and then they just faded all the way back to the 50% and started a new rise off that. But it's on short cover rally at this particular point. So any fade of magenta here below 25, problematic. So that's what we'll be watching from an intraday, because that one would definitely break below the 50% move if that happened. As it is now, it's headed to the 100%. So pretty straightforward from that view. And there it was from the intraday. Nice rise up, and then just all selling late in the afternoon. And this is just the news du jour. Whatever new fancy pops up, the market seems to react to, which, at some point you would think they get tired of it, but no, they really like the volatility. I mean, it actually works well for them. So, and the algorithms like it. So it's going to continue. So that's why as much as they can complain about him, they really like having Trump open his mouth. Anything relevant, I will put it on our team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.